This session is on do while loop in C programming. In C programming, we have statements for repeating a statement as many number of times as we require in the program. The basic loops provided by the C programming language is while loop, do while loop, and for loop. In this section, we are going to discuss about the do while loop. The do while loop is different from while loop and for loop. And before we look at the difference, we will look at the syntax of do while loop. The syntax is as follows: do, open braces, statements, closing braces, while, condition, semicolon. Now the statements that are to be repeated should be enclosed within the braces, and while followed by the condition within the bracket, it must be terminated using a semicolon at the end. Now, as per the syntax, the statements will be repeated until the condition is true. But do while loop is different from while loop and for loop. The basic difference in do while loop is that the statements are executed for the first time without checking the condition. As it is clear from the syntax, we can see that the statements comes first, followed by the while and the condition. So the basic difference in do while loop is that the statements will be executed, then the condition will be checked. If the condition is found to be true, then control goes back to the beginning of the do loop to repeat the statements. If the condition is wrong, we will not be allowed to execute the statements for the second time. So here we see that even if the condition is wrong, at least once the statements given inside the loop do loop is executed. So this makes it different from the while loop or a for loop. In the case of for loop, we know the entry is based on the condition. If only the condition is true, the statements will be executed in the case of while as well as in the case of for loop also. Now, to illustrate do while loop, let us consider an example. It's a simple program in which we have one variable I and it is initialized to a value of 25. Next is the do loop, and we have two statements inside the braces of the do: printf %d I and I equal to I plus 1 for updating the counter value, while I less than or equal to 5 closing bracket semicolon. So the condition is that if the statements have to be executed, the condition I less than or equal to 5 should be valid. When the program is executed, the computer will get us access into the do loop and it will print the value of I. Then the I value will be incremented, and after that execution only the condition will be checked. And in the first checking itself, we can clearly make it out that the condition is not valid. I is initialized to 25, but the I value we have said it should be less than or equal to 5 as part of the condition. Now the condition is not valid, so that means we cannot go back to the beginning of the loop for executing the statements for the second time. But here it is very clear that once the statements inside the do loop is executed, so what the program output would be? The output of the program will be 25. So this way the do loop is different from the while loop and for loop. In the case of while loop or a for loop, we will not get any output in the case of this program because the condition is wrong. So not even once the statements inside the loop will be executed. But in the case of do while loop, at least once the statements in the loop is being executed. So that is the difference. Thank you.